Welcome back. The International Federation of Women Lawyers, FIDA Nigeria Lagos State Branch Law Week, commenced on Wednesday, the 24th of April, with an opening ceremony. Here's some of the highlights from that event.
Federación Internacional de Abogados, FIDA, was formally established in Mexico in 1944. The name translates into International Federation of Women Lawyers. In 1964, a welfare officer, lawyer and diplomat, Ambassador Aduke Alakija, established the Nigerian branch of the organization, FIDA Nigeria. FIDA Nigeria is a non-profit, non-political, voluntary association of women called to the practice of law in Nigeria. Their primary role is to protect, promote, and preserve the rights of women and children in Nigeria. Apart from providing free legal representation for indigent women and children, FIDA Nigeria, through its state branches, also educates and trains its members. This is the opening ceremony of FIDA Lagos 2019 Law Week. This year, the week focuses on reducing vulnerability amongst women and youths, and the association has invited some experts to speak to the Women Get It Here on how to tackle these issues head-on. It has the theme, Reducing Vulnerability Through Social Protection.
Social protection measures in the form of policies are not often implemented, leaving the vulnerable to grapple with coping strategies. Beyond government-oriented measures, there is need to increase the capacity of women and the youth to control their lives through other social protection systems. In the past, various governments have initiated programs geared towards intervention, which we know so many of them, but I will just enumerate these three that's popular. The Better Life for Rural Women, you remember? National Directorate of Employment, Family Support Program, and a host of other social protection measures and programs that have been put in place by the federal government. The state government also, they have their measures, but not here enumerated. The past and even the present social protection system put in place by the government were not very, very effective because of the factors that affected them, like the poorly designed social protection schemes to implement this, lack of awareness created in the society, so that people will be aware what measures to take and where to get help. These were not created, and people did not know where to go to get help. Then another one, the policy inconsistencies and host of others.
Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Lai Babatunde, is the chairman of the event. In his intervention, he encouraged what he called a person-to-person approach and access to education as possible remedies in the circumstances of the vulnerable in our midst.
The chairperson enumerated certain programs, and we are never short of programs as a people. Some are recycled in different names, but we are never short of programs. But we cannot but ask ourselves, because one of the things that this topic has done is to prick our conscience. One major thing I believe you have achieved is that you have asked us to reflect. Let us look around us, those who are vulnerable, those who are wounded, those who are hurting. What are we able to do by ourselves? What can we contribute as individuals and as a group to reduce this suffering? Like I said, the children are the most exposed to this vulnerability. And one of the ways we can help to reduce this is to ensure, in fact, if we need to fight for it, we must fight for it, that children have a right to education. And they must be given.
Other speakers also dwelt on other ways to reduce vulnerability, especially for the women and the children.
What can be done by educational institutions to transform vulnerability through social systems? The public sector, I'll take the public sector first. And I'll suggest an overhaul of the sector from primary to tertiary level not by doing anything terribly dramatic, but by really looking at the situation, what exists. So overhaul the sector from that, of all these areas, and by evaluating the public education status against what ideally should be.
Unfortunately, for us, while Nigeria ratified that convention in 1985, we still do not have the corresponding domestic legislation to make it our national law, part of our corpus of laws. This is also perhaps an area I think FIDA has been involved in pushing it, but until we get the results that we want, we must not relent.
FIDA Lagos says that at the end of the law week, it will come out with a communique of all the suggestions put forward here that will hopefully help empower the vulnerable with innovative, resilient and adaptive strategies, especially towards identified risks.
And just before we go, let's check out some of the top trending stories from the courtrooms.
We begin with the report that the Court of Appeal sitting in Abuja has reserved judgment in the appeal filed by the Governor of Osun State, Gboyega Oyetola, challenging the verdict of the state's election petition tribunal, which nullified his election. After taking arguments from parties in the appeals, Justice Jumai Sankey announced that judgment has been reserved and that the parties will be informed as soon as they are ready. In three separate appeals filed by Governor Oyetola, the All Progressives Congress and the Independent National Electoral Commission, they asked the appellate courts to set aside the March 22, 2019 judgment of the Osun State Election Petition Tribunal, which declared Senator Ademola Adeleke as winner of the Osun gubernatorial election. Governor Oyetola's lawyer, Wale Olanipekun, pleaded with the five-man panel of the appeal court justices to void the judgment of the tribunal because it violated the Electoral Act of 2010 and judicial precedents of the Supreme Court. INEC, in its appeal argued by Yusuf Ali, informed the appeal court that the findings of the tribunal were wrong because they were based on uncertified documents dumped on the tribunal by Senator Adeleke and the PDP. In a related development, the Court of Appeal sitting over the case of eligibility of Senator Ademola Adeleke in the September 2018 governorship election has adjourned till May 2nd, 2019. The adjournment is on the request of the counsel to Senator Adeleke to allow for amendment to observations made by one of the parties over some missing pages in the processes filed. In Lagos, the Alliance for Democracy, AD, and its governorship candidate, Owolabi Salis, have filed an application at the Lagos State Governorship Election Tribunal seeking to stop the swearing-in of Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu as the executive governor on May the 29th. The applicants want the tribunal to restrain the Chief Judge of Lagos, Justice Opeyemi Oke, from swearing in the governor-elect pending the determination of its election petition, which is already before the tribunal. The applicant alleges, amongst other things, that the governor-elect, Mr. Sanwo-Olu, has a criminal record in the U.S., is of unsound mind and should be disqualified by the tribunal from being sworn in as governor. In his response, the governor-elect, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, says he will not join issues with Mr. Salis, who he describes as a person looking for relevance after his woeful performance during the last governorship election.
And that's the program this week. Please feel free to send in your comments, questions, or suggestions. Also remember that you can find these in past episodes of the program on our YouTube page. I am Shola Sheyeli. Thank you for watching.